Sport, sports about sport. About sport? That was all the guys both got. Hear my podcast about sports,
There it
about
goes.
sports. When at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That's what the Aggies said. Howdy, Ags from the tailgate, home of Aggie football, the team that just came back from a 30-3 deficit at the halftime. Today's sponsor is Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractor in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life. Folks, don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Please come on the YouTube channel and subscribe. Share with your friends. Let everybody know we're talking Aggie football, and this is crazy up in here. Leave us some commentary, too. We love those. Today's rundown, we're going to recap the South Carolina game. We're going to go and go around college football, around the SEC, and the Ags Tailgate SEC Power Rankings, and then some questions from the tailgate. But we're going to start today with some news and notes, Corey. Texas A&M still number 3 in the AP and coaches poll. Tonight, obviously, we'll see what happens with the playoff committee and where they end up ranking. That show will be this evening. Right now, everyone's making a big deal about the rankings in the playoff committee being number 3 versus number 2. A lot of people think we should be number 2. Do we care?
Yeah, does it matter?
Do you care?
No. Does it matter?
No, I mean, I don't. Right now, I don't think it matters. Just keep winning, baby. Just keep winning. No, no,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Uh, big news on the contract world. James Franklin gets hired by Virginia Tech. One of
I like it.
those one of those job openings now full filled. Uh, Penn State gets a little reprieve on the money that they were going to owe Franklin because he had that offset thing, so he ended up settling for I think 90 million instead of 49 million or whatever it was, and or 9 million instead of 49 million. And then he put his contract together with Virginia Tech. Look, I'll be honest with you. I love the hire. I think it's a good job for Franklin. One, I think he's a good fit there at Virginia Tech. And I think Virginia Tech's getting a guy that's probably normally would be taking a much better job. No offense, Virginia Tech. What do you think, Corey? You're
Yeah,
you're
I agree.
you're a guy from the Virginia area. What do you think?
Well, man, football is real big in Virginia Tech. It's not quite as big as it is here at A&M, but it's huge. And when Frank Beamer was there, that was a great program. He built a nice tradition there, and they've torn it down over the years. And hopefully, James Franklin can do what it takes to rebuild. I mean, it's up there in the mountains, man. It's not an easy place to recruit.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a little bit tougher. It's a little bit tougher to, but what I would like to see and hear from that group over there is what are they doing about, you know, putting money into the program specifically, not just the coach, obviously, but the players, facilities, so on and so forth. That's going to be a big piece of it. Now, they do play in the ACC, so anybody can win on any given Saturday.
That's true. It's Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, or Sunday. Uh, Other big contract news where I think you all thought where I was going. Elko gets his 6-year extension. Basically increases his pay from 7 million a year to 11 million a year. But look, and I think I like this extension, right? I don't think it's too long, right? One of the things that we hated about the Jimbo extent contract and extensions were that it was so long. And so by the time you figured out that he sucked, you still had a lot of years left, right? If we happen to figure out that our boy Elko sucks at some point, it's not that long of a contract left. But no, in all seriousness, I do think that this is a good deal for Texas A&M. I think it's a good deal for Elko. I think one of the things that was very important to him, and he talked about this in his press conference and in some of these other things, is that it also allowed him to negotiate for his assistants. And one of the things he negotiated is that, for example, in his current contract, his old contract, he got a bonus for hitting, getting to the SEC championship, for getting to the playoffs and those things, and winning an SEC title. And the assistants didn't, because when they hired Elko, like we talked about, hey, look, this is a guy that they don't have to go out and go pay that much. That he doesn't have the cachet or whatever to, have to request and make sure that he's getting, certain things. Well, now that he's in the place that he's done what he's done here at A&M so far, this season specifically, he does have that, right? Other teams want him. Other big programs want him. A&M has to give him some things and some concessions. And I love the fact that he's fighting for his assistants on this deal, right? And I think they're going to get that bonus for this year, which wasn't on their contract previously, and now they're going to get it. And that's part
Hmm.
of his negotiations, not to mention the commitment, obviously, to the program, the student athletes, and so on and so forth. So, really think this is a good thing for A&M in general, and I think it's a good thing for Elko. What do you think? What's your take?
Well, what does he get? So if he makes the SEC championship game, does he get a bonus for that?
Yeah, that's correct. So, you know, and that was in his original contract. His original
Right.
contract was very incentive laden, right? Had a lot of things where these bonuses would kick in for him personally. But now he's adding that to his assistants as well.
No, I like that. What is it? I'm just curious. So when A&M makes the SEC championship, does A&M itself, the school, make a lot more money for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do. I think there's money that comes in for that, but you also got to think about the TV revenue and everything else that gets increased, right? I mean,
Right. That's what I'm trying to think of is how much the school makes. And they got to be making what, 20, 30 million off that one game, you think?
yeah, and I don't know that it's that much, mind you. That's a lot, but then you also the playoffs are another hit, right?
That's
And
what I'm thinking. It's like how much does the school make compared to what they're paying the coach? I mean, I think the school should make the most money, don't get me wrong, but I just want to know the percentage. If he's
well,
making an extra
I'll be
two
honest with you.
million, is it?
I think the school should make some, but I also think that it all flows downhill in the sense that these are the guys that are working to get you there. Hey,
No,
let's
I agree with that, but the school's the one if they can't keep up the facilities, I mean that costs a lot of money. There's a lot of people they got to pay besides the coaches. There's other things they have to keep
they
up.
also collect tuition from their students in order to pay for some of that other stuff, by the way.
Right. No, I understand that, but I mean, this is, where does it stop? I mean, you pay a coach $11 million a year. That's almost $1 million a month. I'm not
Listen,
sure what the assistants make.
I'm
What
with
do
you.
assistant coaches make? I have no
Different
idea.
ones are at different levels, right? And I don't have the details of all their contracts, but the thing about it is that at the end of the day, this program is making money for this university. It's operating at a plus, right? It's actually probably sponsoring the entirety of the athletic programs of all the athletic programs at Texas A&M, right? This football program is.
Right.
And so, yeah, they're making money for the university in order to do all these other things. Is the money outrageous? Sure it is. But listen, we ain't changing that. And if you want to compete,
No, that's what I'm saying.
you
I
got to pay
just
to play, right?
wondering. I mean, we're talking years ago. The top contract was $7 million. I mean, that was I don't know 5 years ago, 10 before Saban got his deal where he was making what 9 million, and everybody's like, oh, now 11 million is like the par level for a top coach, is it not? It's
Yeah, I
like,
think he's in the top 10 or something.
yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I'm proud. I'm happy for him. I'm glad A&M can afford to do that. It's just
Look, I mean,
Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's out there. How much is Lane Kiffin going to get now?
I don't think I paid Lane Kiffin more than I just paid Elko.
I think they do. I think whoever gets
I
him.
think because of the fact that he's going to probably get some guys into a bidding war, maybe he does that. But I'm not going to, that it's not, I don't think you're getting anything more from him than you are from Elko. You see what I'm
No,
saying?
I agree with you. I'm just saying it's always going to be the next guy. Somebody else is going to set the bar. Like, who's the next hot coach? Like, what's his name? Sistiani or the guy from Indiana? Shit, he could
The guy from
probably.
Indiana is already there, buddy. He got paid. You know what I
How
mean?
much does he get?
11 and a half.
Uh, Elko should be pissed. That's bullshit. This guy's getting half a mil more than he
I
is.
listen, I don't think he's too worried about it. I'll be honest with you. He sounds like a
I
guy.
wouldn't either.
He sounds
You
like
get
a
to do
guy that
something you
like, hey,
love to
look,
do, and you're
I
getting
never
paid
thought I'd
11
make a
million
million
dollars a year.
dollars. I never thought I'd make 11 million dollars, much less $11 million a year. Let's make
Exactly.
sure, and to me though, there's he's being smart about it, right? Because for him to continue to win and continue to get these raises and to continue to escalate his level as a coach, he needs the other guys. He needs the people that work for him, right? And so taking care of his assistants is going to make him a better coach in the long term, right? Making sure that there's a certain budget for NIL and for the players is going to make him a better coach in the long run, right? And so
Right.
even if you're giving up a little bit of your own, making sure that that money's going into that program and making the deal that way, that's a guy that's thinking, right? Smart. It's smart. We talk about Tom Brady and the things that he was able to do over the years, and he turned down he'd take less money on contracts because he understood that if he had players around him, his overall worth was going to be bigger, right?
Absolutely. That's a great call. It's what more people should do. Instead, they just see the selfishness. Let me make my money now and
Right. Right.
screw the
And
franchise.
look, once again, the assistants, the staff, I think he's, a staff all the way down. And here's the thing, right? For Aggies as fans, one, it gives us a little bit of security of the fact that he's not going. For players, gives them security that he's not going anywhere. Recruits gives them security he's not going anywhere, right? All these folks should give him a chance to continue to do what he's doing, but there's no guarantee for success. Just because we got Elko, he's having a great year this year. This is 1 year, 1 year, no guarantee for success in the future, right? This season is in part, we've done what we've done very much in part. A big part of it has been the offense, has been the
Right.
offensive production, right? And that has to go with Colin Klein as well. Am I saying Elko has nothing to do with it? No, I think he has built he runs the program a certain way. Discipline, he's definitely a part of the discipline over there and keeping things intact in that sense. But offensively, the play calling, all those kinds of things, that's Colin Klein, right? And he's a big part of it. And it's not just Colin Klein because Marcel Reed's a big part of that, right? Best quarterback that's come through here since Johnny, man. That dude's absolutely a huge part of what this offense success is going to be. When he leaves, what's going to happen? We don't know that the next guy's going to be anywhere near as good, right? The weapons he has around him has allowed him to be part of that, right? The offensive line in front of him has allowed him to be part of that. Can we continue to replicate that and bring in talent enough to allow those coordinators, the offensive coordinator, to also produce in the way that he's been doing? Because if not, this season, we're still 8-4, right?
Right.
Without it, we're still 8-4. We'd have lost to Arkansas. We'd have lost to Notre Dame. The games where we needed to score, we'd have lost those. This team is what it is because of the total packaging. So there's no guarantee that just because you've locked up Mike Elko, that you're good to go, right?
No, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. So what if they say they fire him tomorrow? How much do they owe him? Is there a guarantee on the contract at all?
Yeah, I imagine I imagine his base salary is fully guaranteed,
Gotcha.
is what I imagine. They haven't released the actual contract yet. This is all from rumors and everything else. And look, he's going to have to do a good job of replacing coaches as the years go by. When he has success, this is what happens. Go ask him to save it, right? Successful programs have to replace coaches. And so great head coaches are good at finding replacement coaches, right? They,
It's a good problem to have.
yeah. And that's the whole thing, right? That is a good problem to have.
Yeah,
But
because there's other coaches. You remember when Saban people would get fired, they'd become knocking on Saban's door to get a second chance, and he would get top-notch guys. Head coaches at other places would come be as a coordinator for a year or something. Kiffin did it, didn't he?
yeah, Kiffin was there. But and that was part of the thing is, right? Like if you are consistently putting coordinators into head coaching jobs, guys are going to come work for you, right? Guys want to
Right.
come work for you. And for an
I
offensive
mean,
coordinator playing for Elko, if he's going to allow you to come in here and make a name for yourself for what you're doing, why wouldn't you come and pay and coach for him, right? If I'm a
and he's
guy,
done a good job. He's done a great job with Jimbo's players. I mean, shit, what is it? More than 50% of these guys are probably recruited by Jimbo, weren't they?
yeah, I would think
And he
so. I
kept
mean,
them, most of them around.
I don't know if it's 50. I mean, I think he's 2 years in, right? So maybe, and with the transfer portal especially, maybe about 60% were brought in by him. But still, a lot of big
But I mean, look at the
contributors
offensive
were
line
brought
is
here by
mainly
Jimbo,
Jimbo's
right?
guys,
Marcel Reed,
Marcel,
you
all
know,
the running backs.
York, right? Not Morrow,
Yeah.
right? But you're right, the running backs, York, the offensive line, everybody on that offensive line, uh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Most of the
So you're absolutely correct. I mean, a lot of these pieces were here before he got here. A lot
Yeah,
of
but he's done a great job. Jimbo couldn't do it.
He's done a great
Yeah.
job of making sure to implement a system where these guys can be successful, and that's absolutely correct. And look, I give credit to obviously I've said Colin Klein's name a lot, right? But and I think aside from the dumbest play call in the history of football that he made there at the end of the game the other day on Saturday, he's done a great job, right? And he's gotten better too, right? Year one, he struggled with some things. Year two. He's gotten better and now they're more explosive. They've done more things to try to get the ball down the field and to spread the field out. You know, offensive lineman, the offensive line coach, Cushing, right? That guy, compared to the guys that we had but prior to, man, that dude's been a freaking awesome addition to this staff, right? Takes care of that offensive line. The other thing is, that offensive line loves him because hell, they all stayed from last year to this year, right? Guys that knew that they probably ain't playing. They're not starting or they're sharing a position. They're here. You know, that tells you a lot about Cushing. Wiggins at the wide receiver coach, man, has done a great job of getting these guys to buy in and they block. You go watch that Aggie offense. One of the things that we rarely talk about is how well that wide receiver room blocks. And they do it in the run game, they do it in the pass game, right? It's incredible. So you got to give him a lot of credit as well. They always talk about defensively the Peterson, the DB coach, who's also the co-host DC or whatever. You know, he's done a really good job with those safeties in that secondary and what they've done. Tony Girardetti and Sean Spencer with the defensive line, so on and so forth. Right? There's Trooper Taylor. Trooper Taylor's always comes up with the running backs, and man, we see it on the field, right?
Hey,
So,
who's the kicking coach?
I don't know. We're gonna move on.
I was to say, because that guy, ah,
Maybe the first one that needs to be replaced.
yeah.
Um, any last thoughts on the Elko contract, Corey, before we get into this
No, I'm happy about it.
crazy ass game?
Maybe the talks will stop about him going somewhere else. I mean, I'm sure it'll still pop up here and there, but yeah, I mean, it gives you like you said, security. The program's secure. The future's bright as long as he's here and he has his assistants. And I don't see, the thing about Elko, he's kind of to himself. He's not like these other coaches like Lane Kiffin that's out there saying dumb shit all the time or doing stuff, partying it up like Sark used to. You don't
Or
have all
acting like
that
an
drama.
idiot like the guy on the other sideline on Saturday.
Yeah. What did that guy, what did Beamer do?
Oh, well, he's just jumping around and doing all his thing at halftime and like yelling and all. Like, as a coach, you've got to be the guy under control, don't you? I mean, you remember who was the guy out at Nebraska, man, that was a defensive coordinator, I think maybe at LSU prior to, and Bo Pelini or something, right? And the guy
Okay.
was just always just like losing his mind on the sideline and like, what are we doing here, fellas? Or the old guy at Texas that went after the player from the opposing team that one time, right? You know,
Yeah. Or like a police officer hitting a player from South Carolina in the
yeah, that
tunnel.
idiot.
What the hell was that about?
Oh, freaking idiots.
Jesus.
Talk about idiots all over the place. So, Yeah, I like his demeanor. I like the way he addresses the media. I like the way that he treats people, players, addresses players. When he's on the sideline and in public, you can tell he's very respectful of the guys he's working with. He gets intense on the headsets with his coaches, and he ain't afraid to get on his coaches, right?
He'll break a chair.
He'll break a chair.
You will too. Saw you do it. Saw you break some luggage.
Man, amen, dude, and it worked. Oof.
Yeah, it worked. There you go.
Uh, so let's talk about this South Carolina game. All right, so
Talk it
31-30
up.
is the final. Kyle Field. I'll be honest with Corey, I watch a shit ton of football. I've coached a lot of football. I've been in a lot of football games. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that, dude.
I
A&M
mean,
could not do a freaking thing right in the first half, Corey. Their offense sucked, their defense sucked, their special teams sucked. There was not one aspect of the game that they did well in the first half. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
yes, I have, but it's very few. I mean, I watched the Oilers game where they didn't the Oilers blow a huge lead, and I mean it was crazy against the Bills against Frank Wright or something. It was something silly, and I watched a few games. I mean, I watched Johnny bring us back against Duke, but nothing. This was as bad as we looked. I mean, the game was pretty much over at halftime, 30-3. I was telling you I should have kept that bet in that I was going to make $100 on South Carolina to win like 600 or $700. Glad I
Straight
didn't. I
up.
would have lost.
Yeah, you would have lost that bet.
Yeah, but Jesus, I can't. No, it was crazy, man. The team looked awful. Marcel looked terrible. The special teams was awful. Defense was terrible.
Your field goal kicker missed a freaking field goal when we were at the 6 yard line. At the 6 yard line. From the
That's a
six
tough one.
yard
That's a
line.
tough one sometimes. It's a tough one. It's a bad angle.
Goodness
I
gracious.
mean, from my
Look,
kicking history.
offense had three turnovers. Let me rephrase that.
Marcel pretty
Marcel
much
had
had.
three turnovers, one of them for a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Defense gave up, I was going to say 30, but I guess 23 because one of them was the offense, right? But
Yeah.
still, defense gave up 23 points. Big, big play over the top. Another big
Yeah.
play where the wide receiver takes off and and outruns you when you were trying to play safe, right? Like special teams misses two field goals. All phases of football were bad in the first half, and
Well, I
then
mean, we were moving the ball. Don't get me wrong. We were moving the ball on offense. We were getting into positions to
no, no,
be
no, no, no.
successful. We just,
The first two drives we moved the ball some, and by the way, one of those that we didn't move the ball on one of them. We got the ball at the 6 yard line because they gave it to us,
was
right?
that the pick?
The
Was that the
pick,
pick by
yeah,
Brooks?
yeah,
And
and
we
so
missed the field goal?
and then we missed a field goal, right? And
Mm.
so yeah, I thought all phases were terrible. And look, we know how talented and how good this football team is. They just didn't show up ready to play. But then second half and whoa, like the chills, man. It just what happened there, I was losing my mind, dude. You were with me. I was losing my freaking mind in this game. And they win
I
28
know.
nothing in the second half, 28 nothing in the second half. We'll get into some of the issues in the first half. But I want to praise this team first. I want to praise this team because I'm so high on this team right now. It's as talented as anybody in college football, period. End of sentence. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's got a great leaders in Reed and York, right? And they're not the only ones. Armaja Reed Adams. Hey, Brooks in the secondary. Lee in the, they've got, that guy's got a, they got a core, man. But great leaders in Reed and York. Playmakers on offense all over the place. Oh, your tight end room's got playmakers. They're tough in the trenches, right? And they never freaking quit, man. This team is amazing, freaking awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I mean, who would have thought the tight ends would be as successful as they are this year, man? And the two that are doing it, I thought that third one, what's the guy's name?
Nybo.
Nebet? Yeah, I thought he would have been the. He looks more athletic. I thought he would have been the difference maker, but nah. I mean, it's been impressive. Uh, yeah, what they did in the second half. I mean, that's the team we should have saw from the get go, but we didn't. And I'm not sure what they did different on defense because that coach for South Carolina, man, I'm surprised he didn't get fired before he got on the plane because you're up 30-3 against the number three team in the nation. All you got to do is play the clock. What the hell was he thinking?
Yeah, but they couldn't because they couldn't stay on the field, right? They could not stay on
No,
the freaking field.
but his
Look,
play, I mean, he just, I was
they
like,
come
holy
out
cow, play calls.
they come out in the second half. They the Aggies. This Texas A&M football team, the Aggie football team comes out in the second half. They're getting the ball in the second half. We knew that going in, right? They're getting the ball in the second half. And Colin Klein comes out and says, "Look, here's the ball, Marcel. Go." Right? Because at that point they went no huddle. They went no huddle. They didn't run the football at all in the first three touchdowns, right? It was other than Marcel running pretty much, and they let him sit back there and call the plays and poof, 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 poof. And dude, I I don't want to give you false numbers here. So let me make sure that I've got this. He was 16 of 20 for 316 yards and two touchdowns in the second half. 16
Basically,
of
a third
20
quarter, wasn't it? Was it the third quarter or the second half?
in the second half, but most of that in the third quarter, right? A large
Yeah,
part of that in the third quarter. I
because the
mean,
deficit was erased in the third quarter, basically.
yeah, they were going in for the fourth touchdown when the third quarter ended. Right?
Yeah,
They ended up scoring in the fourth quarter, but they were
yeah, we
already
should have beat them by two touchdowns.
we should have beat them by two or three.
I mean, we should have been about 40. That
Listen,
was
this
embarrassing.
game, the game, look, at the end of the day, we know, talent-wise, there's no compare. These two teams, there's no comparison. That we found out at the end of the day, there's no comparison between these two teams. But Marcel himself, look, 439 yards for the game, three touchdowns. He had the two picks, and we'll talk about those picks. Seven carries for 13 yards. That's including they did sack him twice, so there was some negative plays in there. They had one called back on a bogus freaking holding call on Basantis again. How does that guy gets called for the worst holds? Um,
I didn't even see that one. That one right there. I mean, I watched that again and it's like, what? I don't even know what he
the
did.
defensive lineman's got his hands on him, and
He knocked him down and then
and
he
the
held the
guy
guy.
the guy falls on
Isn't
his
that what you're taught
face.
to do? Aren't you taught to do that when they get down?
Yeah, get his hands off of
Yeah.
you. And no, I mean, so I'm telling you, dude, you anybody that listens to this podcast, you who listen to me all the time, understand how I feel about Marcel Reed. I said it. The dude is unbelievable. I think he's coming into and how much I love Johnny. He's coming into the Johnny territory. He may be surpassing Johnny at this point. He's getting real close, you know, um, because of his performance on the field. Second half possessions, Corey, five second half possessions, other than the run out the clock at the end. Four straight touchdowns. And the fifth one, they were going in when Colin Klein calls some stupid, I don't know, straight snap tomorrow with a pitch, and it ends up in a fumble. Like the most retarded play inside of the 5 yard line I've ever seen, right? Just stupid.
It was bad.
Ball.
That was terrible.
That's your five possessions. That's your five possessions in the second half. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Dumbass play call, otherwise touchdown. The last touchdown drive, Corey, 99 yards and a pitch ain't one. Right? You like how I did that? You like how I did that?
Yeah, the pitch ain't
Uh,
one. I got you.
you like that. Look, that last touchdown drive was 99. They get the ball backed up at the 1 yard line, man. And they come out throwing the football. Throwing the football in Mark. ball in Marcel's hands, right? Like, and they go down and score a touchdown. And it wasn't like any of them were short fields, right? The drives were
Yeah,
75, 70, 80, and 99.
they went quick. I mean, they went quick. They were in. You could tell in their first. They were in hurry up mode to start the second half, and I liked it. That's they played with what was it rhythm with you know what I'm saying, like flow. They look like I think Marcel needs that. I think they should do that at the beginning of the game. Act like they're behind by 30 in the first quarter and just get after it, and
Yeah,
then
that's
put
not
in O'Neal.
you're not wrong. I definitely think that sometimes, especially in a situation where he comes out and maybe he's a little shaky, like they should go to that, right? It feels every time they've done it this
Yeah,
season, he
Notre
is in a
Dame
much
game,
better
same
rhythm.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
much
Notre
better.
Dame. But you know, I keep thinking about that game. In the North Sellers or whatever, he just doesn't seem like the player I thought he was. I kept watching that guy. I thought he was more athletic. I don't know if he's hurt. He didn't seem as fast. I thought he was bigger and stronger. It seemed like they were getting him down easier. I mean, he showed his arm strength every now and then, but I wasn't really that impressed with that guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, and we'll talk about South Carolina's offense here in a second. I wanted to touch on a couple more guys here because I think this is super big for this offense. And I'm going to start with Isaiah Williams, Corey.
Oh yeah,
You
that was
remember,
impressive.
do, and this is actually a very important question. Do you remember? Do you remember when we're sitting there in that second half and we come out and he throws the ball to Isaiah
That wheel
Williams on
route.
that touchdown on that, yeah, wheel route, out and up, whatever it was, right? On that
Yeah,
touchdown.
you got mad because the guy called it a wheel route, and you're like, no, it's out and up. But
Yeah, whatever.
go ahead.
Similar. Both
It
of
was
them.
a wheel route.
Sure.
They
So
said it on TV.
touchdown.
Yeah. To
You
who?
didn't even know who Isaiah Williams is.
I've heard of an Isaiah Williams, just not that one.
Yeah. Like I'm like, no, 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 no. This guy's he's in because Mario is little gimp right now, whatever. But yeah, he had a really nice freshman year last year, red shirt freshman. I mean, dude,
He had
dude,
like two or three catches.
3 for 50, including the touchdown, the 27-yard
Yeah.
touchdown to get the scoring started for this group, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, that was a nice pass by Reed, by the way, on that little wheel. That was a good pass. I mean, he actually put touch on that ball. It wasn't like a beamer. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. And that's crazy because these are guys that we haven't really, this is a guy in the craziest moment of the freaking craziest game in all the season this year, and he hasn't even caught a ball this year, man. Next thing you know, he catches a touchdown, his first catch of the year, 27-yard touchdown to freaking get the first touchdown in this game. I mean, like how crazy is that? And he has two more catches later on. That's a pretty big game, right? So I can't say enough about a guy about Isaiah Williams ready to jump in when his name was called, in spite of the fact that they hadn't used him much, man. Just exceptional. KC, KC and the Sunshine Band, baby. KC has Corey. I mean, how crazy was it, man? We were talking about KC. He's such an awesome football player and drop in the end zone, right? Touchdown, drop,
Yeah. I mean, it hit him right in the hands.
hit him right in the hands. First half. That's the
It was
first half. We'll
that
talk
was
more
awful.
about that.
That was awful.
Dude, this
Sure,
guy
he's going to enjoy that when he
ends
goes
the
back and
game,
hears this.
ends the game on 7 catches for 158 yards, dude. The dude absolutely balled out in the second half. Just absolutely incredible, man. Without his partner in crime, Mario, on the field for a lot of that, right?
Is Mario hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt.
I mean, what are they saying it is?
They haven't. Elko keeps all that close to the vest, so he ain't saying anything. Um, and then Ashton Bethel Roman, 4 for 139, dude. 4 for 139, including that diving in the end zone, 76-yard beauty of a throw from Marcel Reed for the second touchdown, right?
Yeah, I hear you, but how many drops did Bethel have?
So
I'm not talking about that.
we will talk about that. We will talk about that.
We will.
We are.
Yeah.
Last guy I want to bring into this conversation is Nate Burkitcher because 3 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown, but more than that, right? The dude is the absolute physical blocker up front. And then when he got the ball in his hands, man, he just lowered his shoulder and just trucks. That's a football player, man. That's a football player, dude. And that touchdown was
Mhm.
exceptional. I I had to mention. Anybody else you want to call out today?
Not in so much a good way. So I don't know if you want me to,
Well, we will here in just a second.
because I
I
wasn't. I
mean,
mean, I'm looking at our rushing stats; they're not good.
not good. I want to call out one other guy though, Trey Zune. Trey Zune, who they've been moving all over this damn offensive line. I don't know
Yeah,
what was going on with Reed Adams, by the way. I don't know why they haven't started, they didn't start him, whatever. Maybe he's in the doghouse or something. I don't know, you know. But Trey Zune starts at center, Naboo is at right guard, Father at left tackle. For what, for whatever reason, they're not the team isn't playing well. They flip it, right? And in the second half, Zune goes back to left tackle. They put Naboo at center and they bring Reed Adams in at right guard. And I will tell you, I've been on record to say this. I I am surprised that Reed Adams is not in there with even with the when the other group is in there, even when Zune's at center. You know what I mean? I'm a little surprised
yeah,
that because he's one of our more physical guys out there, right? And I love his physicality. I love that about him. It's strange to me, but
yeah.
whatever, man. Zune, wherever they put him, the guy just keeps on playing, man. Does he have bad snaps? Nope. He's only been playing center this year. Like snaps the ball perfectly. The guy moves. No, whatever they ask him to do, man, he does for that offensive line. He's gonna be an NFL draft pick, man. He's gonna be an NFL draft pick probably in the top 2 rounds.
Who Zoom?
Yeah,
I think we got a couple guys on that other line will be draft picks.
for sure. I
I
agree
mean,
with it. I agree
I
with
think
it.
there's three or four of them. DeSantis, I think, will be up there. Zune,
Hopefully,
Reed
Bisontis
Adams.
can stay
Reed
another year,
Adams will
man.
probably be up there. Who?
Bisontis can stay another year. Hopefully he does, man. Maybe he
Yeah,
continues.
I mean, Father, he
Um,
has the tools if he could stay healthy. Crown over if he could stop doing dumbass penalties. I mean, you
yeah,
got
he's been
talent,
better with the penalties, but here we go.
but I mean, these guys are athletic enough; they could play in
Yeah, they got
on
the size,
Sundays.
they got the athleticism. They could definitely do it, right? And look, we've been
Absolutely.
sitting here all over this offense. I don't want to leave the defense out because the defense stepped it up as well. Without them shutting this other team out, we don't win the ball games. Shut out in the second half, man.
Yep.
And you know, 3 of the first 4 possessions, they go 57 yards in a field goal, 75 yards in a touchdown, 66 yards in a field goal. After that, after that. You get the neighbors catch and run at the end of the half when they're playing backed up or whatever. That's a big play. But that's pretty much it. That is it after the first 4 possessions. In the second half, in the second half, they get 4 sacks, actually all in the fourth quarter to close out this game. They got 10 tackles for loss in the game. Cassius had 3 passes defended. He's a defensive end, Corey.
Oh, he was impressive. He was really impressive.
He also had a sack. Huge picks by Dalton Brooks. We've been talking about the last couple of weeks. He's getting better and better. This one kind of just lands in his hands a little bit, but you
Oh, he
know,
did a little bit.
overthrow by Sellers, and he takes advantage of that deal. But I mean, this defense was absolutely outrageous. York, another great day up front, just taking care of business, man. T.O. had a monster day. He just made his presence felt. I thought Searcy might have had one of his better games as an Aggie. And, I've talked about seriously before, and he had a hard time at the beginning of the season really holding the edge. He's getting better and better at that and now doing his job a lot better. This defense absolutely freaking dominated in the second half. It was like three and out central out there. I mean, they had one drive, maybe six plays, or maybe it was eight, I don't know, but it still wasn't very many yards, and they turned it over on downs, remember? I thought he would kick a field goal. I bet you he wishes he would have at this point.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't. Unbelievable.
Unfreaking believable, man. This defense was outrageously good. We've talked about some of the issues about this defense, but when they had to buckle down on Saturday, they absolutely did. And they've pretty much done that all season, right? Even with some slow starts, when they've had to go, they've gone.
Absolutely.
All right, this is the part you want to get to. The- let's talk about the problems in the first half. Let's talk about the
Yeah.
problems in the first half. Look, first piece, the turnovers, right? Look, you can't go three turnovers in a half, including a return for a touchdown, and expect to win a lot of games, right?
Right.
I look at Marcel on this because everybody's talking about, oh, well, he did have the three turnovers. Look, the first one, the fumble, man, that defensive end come off the edge. Theo runs right by the guy and doesn't even like sniff him, right? Like he's tackling the running back as Marcel's trying to hand this football off or fake the football, literally. And maybe he should have ate it and just taken the sack, whatever, or the hit, the loss. But he didn't. He tries to make a play and goes backwards, and we know the story, right?
That was a hell of a run by that defensive lineman, by the way.
And then defense tackle, that's pretty good.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean, he
big man.
rumbled and tumbled his way to the end zone.
He
He
sure
wasn't
did.
being denied.
He sure did. And I think it was Mario that tried. I think was it Mario that tackled him, man? That's a
I don't
mismatch.
know. That guy landed on top of somebody right before he fell in the end zone. That was impressive.
Um, yeah,
But no,
man.
I mean, yeah, like you're saying, just the execution of, I had jury duty yesterday and I was at jury duty and I'm sitting there in the lobby listening to all these cops and people talk and, everybody knows everything. They said they heard a rumor that a bunch of the Aggie players were out partying Friday night before the game. I
Okay.
don't know what the occasion was, but this is what they said. And it made sense if you watch them play the first half.
Yeah,
So I
you
don't
ain't
know.
kidding.
I mean, that's what they were talking about yesterday at jury duty. So that's that's my little two
Well,
cents there. The jury duty.
that's good. That's good insight from jury duty, by the way. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's kind of what they look like. But I guess my point with some of this conversation about these turnovers is, look, the interception on the throw to Rio in the
Where in
corner,
the end zone?
yeah, in the end zone. I mean, he just way underthrew that thing, right?
Way. I
And
mean, he threw it right to the guy. It wasn't
yeah,
weighing. It was right to him. Like he was like, "Hey, turn
yeah,
around. Hey,
he
cornerback,
didn't
turn
have it.
around when you go 5 yards."
He didn't have any pressure on him or anything, right? He just
Yeah,
he
I
just
thought for
he
sure that was
just
going to be a touchdown because there was no pressure.
oh yeah, and
You don't see
he
that
looked like he
happen.
was throwing it confident. He just underthrew the thing.
Yeah, it looked like that guy was on his team the way he threw it
Yeah,
to him.
unbelievable. And then the throw to KC, he overthrew, right? He
Well,
had
we've seen
two,
that all year. We've seen
and
that
we
all.
have
We've
seen
been
some of
worried about
that
that all
too.
year. High overthrows.
But so the picks are on him. There's no question about that. The picks are definitely on him. But at the end of the day, he comes out and he makes up for it in the second half, right? And by the way, he wasn't getting. Look, the offensive line seemed out of sorts, right? They weren't taking care of business like they normally do. We couldn't run the football to save our lives. I think we had negative some odd yards in the first half. All the wide receivers had drops. I mean, KC had the touchdown drop. Mario had a drop on the an easy catch.
Bussy,
Bussy had
Bethel
one
Roman.
on a little crossing route over there that would have been a first down. Bethel Roman might have had two that would have both been first downs.
At
Um,
least two. At least two.
by the way, that big run, that big catch and run by Bethel Roman in the second half, where I think he hurt himself again. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran the wrong route, and that was a ball meant for KC. He ran the wrong route, come underneath it, and caught the ball and then took off. Right? I mean, there was a lot of things that went wrong in that first half that weren't Marcel's fault, and he wasn't getting a whole lot of help from the people that need to be giving him some help. Now, we celebrated a win, but let's acknowledge a few things here. This team was not ready to play at 11 a.m., and maybe it is because of the fact that they were all half of them were hung over. You know, this team was more talented than South Carolina. I said it last week. They better be careful because South Carolina has three of the best athletes on the planet in Nick Harbor, in Sellers, and in Stewart. All three of those guys showed out a little bit, by the way. They did. I know you're saying you didn't think you weren't all that impressed with Sellers. I thought we did a very good job on Sellers. But I don't care what he looked like on Saturday. He's a great athlete.
I just didn't see it Saturday. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see the mobility. I thought the elusiveness, getting away from rushes as much. I mean, I saw his arm strength, but I thought he would. I don't know. Expected more.
Yeah, he wasn't, look, and especially after what he did to us last year, right? He wasn't running loose like that anymore. And
Mm.
that's a big credit to what Elko did with his defense this year. On a little bit of a side note, I don't understand why they don't get Nick Harbor the ball more. Like that dude would be touching the ball every other play. If it's me, he's 6'5", he's 250 pounds, and he just ran away from your entire secondary. By the way,
Yeah,
they had a head start, right? Like they had a
yeah,
head start, and he just see ya.
yeah. I mean, I'd send that
Um,
guy on a deep route every time. Just go deep. 6'5", I'm throwing it up. You catch it. You know,
listen,
I'd
I'd hand
try.
it.
I'd try to overthrow him.
I would too. I'd hand it to him
Think
on
he'd
a
get it.
jet sweep. I'd freaking throw it to him on a little bubble screen. I would do anything to get that dude the ball in his hands, a lot like we do with KC, but more, right?
Right.
Um, now I will say this. So let's get back to it, right? Elko did not have this group ready to play. Elko at 11 a.m. did not have this team ready to go. I don't I don't care what happened in the second half. That was a mistake on the coaching part. Look, and we talked about it before the game. There was tons of rat poison out there this past week for this Aggie football team, right? Oh, Marcel's on TV everywhere you look last week, doing interviews with anybody who'd call his name. We saw KC on TV. We saw, like all these guys are getting all this big time pub, right? Everybody's eating it up, man. Eating it up. We're talking Heisman. We're talking this. We're talking these other awards, and they're getting nominated and blada freaking blada. And oh, they're undefeated, and they're gonna have 10 wins, and they've never done this, and so on and so forth. In the meantime, Mike Elko's on TV everywhere doing the same thing, and he's working on a freaking contract extension. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, all that affects this team.
Should have fired him. You're right.
No, because he won, buddy.
Oh, he won. Okay.
No, but the point being is, and my point to get to all that, right, to say all that, it was an effect. Look, Mike Elko didn't want to acknowledge that in his press conference, by the way. He didn't want to say that. He's like, no, I don't think it's anything about this. It's just the way the game went and blah, blah, blah. And it's like bullshit. All right. You guys weren't ready to play. Accept it, acknowledge it, get on to the next one because you can't do this the rest of the season, right? Yeah, it's Sanford. You don't even have to show up for Sanford. You're going to win that game, but you can't do that against Texas, even though we're going to whoop the shit out of Texas, and they're not going to do that. It's a rival game, and then you're in the playoffs, buddy. I mean, you're in the SEC championship. Everything else has championship implications, man, and so. You can't do this any other time this season. You got away with it the one time you could, and thank goodness. But
Wait. He can get away with it this coming weekend.
yeah, for sure. They can go out drinking on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. He can get away with it South Carolina. He can get away with it Stanford.
Right.
Maybe I think he could get away with it Texas. I think he could.
Go
Just saying.
go hang out
I'm
on
just saying.
go hang out on Guadalupe on Friday night over there in
Yeah,
Austin.
go party it up a little bit. Don't worry. Game's not that big.
Yeah, whatever. Look,
I mean,
honestly, I'm
Texas,
just look. I'm hoping that this is the last time that they eat all that rat poison, man. I hope that once is enough.
dude, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's the last time they're going to eat it because this is the first time in years this Aggie team has been this good. I mean, in a long damn time. It's something new. I'm hoping we get used to it is the main thing. And that's the thing. This has to be the norm. If they can make it the norm, like Alabama is disappointed if they lose more than 2 games in a season. Georgia, same way. Ohio State. You keep naming the teams that are up there where we want to be. We're going to have to eat that rat poison for a little bit. Listen to how good we are until it just becomes a routine where we're winning games like that, like Ohio State does, where it's not, it's kind of boring to watch them because they're beating the shit out of everybody.
They
You know what
also
I'm
play a
saying?
bunch of shitty teams, so there's that.
But I guess South Carolina, I mean, South Carolina's a really good team. Don't get me wrong. They'd probably be up there in the Big Ten. I see what you're saying.
They'd be
No,
about
that's what I'm
they'd be
saying.
about
It's teams
they'd be
like
about
South
middle of the
Carolina,
pack. They would be middle of the pack in the Big Ten, baby.
yeah, middle of the pack. What I'm
Um,
saying is, once we get to that point, I mean, yeah, so other teams in the SEC had trouble with South Carolina this year. Who was it? Alabama or
sure.
somebody?
Yeah. Alabama almost lost to them.
South Carolina's got talent.
They do. We just
They're
talked
missing a
about
few.
them. We just talked about a
Yeah,
few of those guys.
but if you want to be that next level program, this should be a game where a team is 3-7 or 3-6, whatever it was coming in, and you're number three in the nation. It should, and you're at home. There's no excuse.
Having said that, every team's gone through it, right? Look at
No,
look at Indiana the other day.
Ohio State has not gone through it.
Ohio State has definitely gone through it, and I'm gonna look that up while we talk. But you
Against
know,
who? Oh, Texas? You talking the 14-7 win against Texas?
I mean, I'm just saying that I mean, it was a very tight win against Texas, right?
Indiana
But
went through it with Penn State.
yeah, that's pretty much the only one. But listen to this group of teams that they played. Texas is their best competition. Grambling, Ohio, Washington,
Washington,
Minnesota. Washington just lost to who'd they lose to just?
Wisconsin,
Yeah, you kidding
Wisconsin.
me? Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, and UCLA. That is the bottom half of the Big Ten, which is the bottom half of the freaking Power Five. Like, get
Okay.
out of
Well,
here.
then Penn State was supposed to be a top five team all year. They sucked.
Penn State just won their first Big Ten game
All you
against
can
them.
do, although, is play the teams that are on your schedule.
Yeah, there's no
That's
question,
all you
man.
can
And
do.
they're gonna get another one, another tough one against Rutgers this week.
Oh, they're only favored by 31 or something. But anyway, no, what I'm saying is you can only play the teams on your schedule.
Sure.
A&M's getting shit for their schedule. They're like, oh, they played the bottom teams.
Hey, listen,
Okay,
agreed. Look, and you're right
they
about
beat them
Ohio
all.
State, right? And look, Ohio State's got those damn wide receivers that man, they will put the fear of God in everybody, right? They're gonna do those things. They're gonna go play Michigan. They're gonna go play Michigan. They go to Michigan, not a very good Michigan team, but they're gonna have to do that. And then they're gonna have to play the Big Ten championship. They're gonna have to face an Indiana team that we do think is good, right?
Yeah, I think they'll beat them. But well, here's a scenario.
But we're
What
getting
happens
we're
if
getting
this?
away
What
from the
happens
point
if
here, Corey. We're getting away from the point. We're
what?
getting we're getting away from the point. And
What's the point?
the point being is that
You
this
have those.
Aggie
You get the
team
rat poison. The rat poison.
is that the rest of this year, hopefully this is a lesson to understand that you can't eat that rat poison, right? That you
Rat
can't.
poison. It's going to be there for a while since they're doing well.
Yeah,
The rat poison.
they're gonna give it to you. They're gonna give it to you, but you don't have to eat it.
Yeah.
Don't eat it,
Right.
right? And that's my point. And the reason I
Yeah. Well,
say that
well,
is,
you can take a
look,
nibble here and there.
they
Take a
got
little
two
nibble.
weeks. They got 2 weeks to prepare for Texas because They, that's already started, right? Sanford is a practice game on Saturday. They got 2 weeks to prepare for Texas and if they screw that up, then that's huge because Texas is our biggest rival. They're not going to show up over there not ready to play. That's a rivalry
Oh,
game.
you're
They
looking by
should,
Stanford.
huh? What was that?
What?
So anyway, they're not going to show up there not ready to play. And then after that, you're in a championship game. Then you're in the playoff, right? The the intensity is going to be a natural intensity the rest of the way,
Right?
right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Sanford game next week, 11 a.m. at Kyle Field. It's not even, it's on SEC Network Plus. You can't even get it on like regular TV. Sanford's 1-10. I don't think Sanford may show up here without putting their starters in. They may not put their starters in until the second quarter once we got our backups in there, just so that they don't get people hurt.
It's a good
Um,
call. I like that. Maybe
look,
we should start our second
we're
string then.
we're not. We should. Well, we got to get some stats, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Not spending much time on this game, but the one anything that you want to see out of this Sanford game. There's something I want to see out of the Sanford game.
No, I
I
don't
want,
want to see.
I want to see the
I'll watch
backups.
the game because I have ESPN Plus. You want to see what?
I want to see the backups. I want to see the young guys get a lot of reps.
Well, we better get out to a quick lead.
Because offensively on the offensive line, we're going to lose a bunch of guys. I want to see guys like Afua and Ivy, McGuire, Borden, Funk, Rogers get a ton of reps, tons and tons of reps, a whole half, maybe three quarters worth. I want to see O'Neal at quarterback. I want to see him sling it around a little bit and do his thing. You know, Demarion Morrow gets plenty of playing time. He should get more, right? Armstrong, the tight end, the little young tight end that everybody loves, the big kid, he's athletic, big, whatever. Let's go see what he can do. Isaiah Williams just showed some of that. Let's see some more. I want to see Bussy out there catching a bunch of balls. How about TK Norman, who showed some things? Let's get these guys a little bit of some roses, man. Let's get them some plays and some stats, baby. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I like it.
Defensively,
I'm looking at Sanford's record right now and what they've done this year. It's not impressive.
not,
They
not
need to do
impressive.
some buckyball. They need some buckyball there.
They do.
Isn't that where it came from, Sanford?
That's it. We got a connection to
Buckyball.
Sanford. Look, defensively, guys like Curry and Petaway, Bill Goins in the secondary. Up front, Jones and Solomon Williams. And Pemba, guy that we haven't seen a ton of as the Georgia transfer. Evans, Sims, and Sanders, the freshman defensive tackles. Let those guys get in there and cause some havoc. Rink, you know. McHale and Jernigan's Lockhart at linebacker. Some of those guys get some more reps. McHale's been getting some stuff with the first team as well. Pride and Davis at safety. Those guys. Let's see what these guys can do, man. Let's put these guys in positions to go make plays, and let's let them go out there and fly around and put some stats up. No,
No, I hear you. What do you think the score is going to be?
70-3.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Sanford team. What they've done this year, it's not good. They're 1-10, and they're only averaging 14 points a game, 15 points a game.
Yeah,
I mean, they're losing to D2 schools, like small schools, like 49-13, 50-35, 42-7. It's not good. I mean, our backups should beat them by 70.
yeah. I
What's the
think it's going
spread
to
on
be
this game?
ugly,
You seen the spread yet for this game?
huh?
Have you seen the spread for this game?
No, do they have one?
I doubt it will be out. I doubt it.
No, it's off the table.
Well, it'll
Um,
be on that other one that we can look at where it shows the extra games
yeah,
later in the week.
it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, it's going to be this is a practice, right? And that's just the way it is.
Practice.
I wouldn't be
Practice.
surprised if Marcel and the crew come out there for two drives and then get off the field, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Let's go around the SEC. Two huge games in the SEC. We watched you. I think you passed out for one of them. Uh,
Both.
Georgia absolutely wallops Texas 35-10. It was really more of a tighter game up until the fourth
Game I
quarter
went to bed in.
when the Georgia Bulldogs uh, scored 21 in the fourth quarter. But, Texas's offense was inept all day. Just couldn't do anything. You know, we talked about it before. You know, we just believe Georgia was the better team, right? It was the better
They
team.
were the better
Right.
team.
Texas not really that good. Oklahoma in a huge game for them, keeping their playoff hopes alive. They beat the world beater Alabama Crimson Tide. We thought
Surprise.
Alabama was. We thought Alabama was a bit overrated and one-dimensional. Those things turned out to be true.
I
Three
mean, I still
athletic
think
turnovers.
Alabama outplayed them. I still watched the game. I watched the game with you. I thought the Alabama looked like the better team, but they lost.
They lost. And look, the reason is their numbers look a little bit, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think a Brent Venables defense against a team that is one-dimensional has an advantage, and it ended up three turnovers and the difference in the game, right?
Yeah. And what's his
Uh,
name for Alabama, the quarterback? He's overrated.
he is overrated.
He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but he's overrated.
Yeah, yeah, he's a game manager though. Ole Miss beats
Yeah.
Florida 34-24 in a game that was tighter than expected. Florida kind of showed up, at least offensively. Ole Miss's running back did go off for over 200 yards, so the defense didn't really show up much, but there it is.
It's another team. I think Ole Miss might be overrated, but go ahead.
Man, I like the Ole Miss team. I like their quarterback. We'll see. I mean, who's and we can get into this in a little bit, but who's really better than they are?
Georgia,
Tennessee
Alabama.
drubs New Mexico State. Absolutely drubs. No surprise. 42-9.
Who?
LSU,
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
LSU keeps Arkansas from getting their first SEC win in a 23-21 or 23-22 ball game. How about that one?
Didn't hit the over.
No, they did not. Kentucky continues their hot streak with a 42-10 win over Tennessee Tech, who, by the way, was undefeated coming into that game.
Surprise.
Think about that.
Might be their biggest one of the year.
Mizzou beats Mississippi State 49-27. That was a butt whooping.
Yeah, it was.
I think the Ahmad Hardy went for like 300. Yeah, they still don't throw the ball, but it's all right. SEC teams in contention now. Six teams that could finish with 10 wins in the SEC because none of these teams play each other in the next 2 weeks, by the way. None of these teams play each other in the next 2 weeks.
All
Alabama,
right.
who's now 6-1 in the SEC, 8-2 overall. Obviously, the Aggies, by the way, 7-0, not 10-0, right? But we got Sanford and Texas, Bama, Eastern Illinois, and then the big matchup at Auburn. Obviously, a rivalry game. You know, how awesome would it be to see Auburn go knock them off and kick them out of the playoffs? That'd be amazing.
It
Uh,
wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Georgia's
But
already finished in the SEC. They're 7-1 in the SEC, 9-1 overall, and they got Charlotte and Georgia Tech. That Georgia Tech game ends up being pretty good, pretty big. You know they but they're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the playoffs at this point. Ole Miss
yeah,
6-1, 10-1 overall. Got Mississippi State left at the end of the season. It's a rivalry game, but that shouldn't be very close, honestly. And they're pretty much locked into a playoff spot, right?
right.
Oklahoma stayed alive, 4-2, 8-2. They got Missouri and LSU. What do you think?
They'll beat Missouri this week. And then who else? LSU? Is Oklahoma? I mean, they played a tough schedule.
Yeah,
Damn. I think they'll win both those games.
yeah, once again, Missouri, a one-dimensional team. They can't throw the football against that Venables defense. I think that gives them an advantage. Oklahoma an advantage. And then LSU, I don't know. I don't think LSU's got anything left in the tank, really. I just think that they're kind of just playing
Yeah, I
out
don't
the
think so
season.
either.
And then Vandy, who's 4-2, 8-2. They got Kentucky and at Tennessee, a little bit harder path on that one, but they could potentially get to 10 wins.
Hey, man, Kentucky's playing pretty good ball. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised. Where's that Kentucky game at?
I believe it's at Vandy.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
might be taking Kentucky on that one, to be honest with you.
And then they go to Tennessee. So SEC power rankings, obviously A&M's one. I've got Georgia up to two that I had in there last week. Oh, I got Ole Miss at three, Oklahoma at four, Bama at five, Vandy at six, Texas seven, Tennessee eight, Mizzou nine, Auburn 10, Kentucky 11, LSU 12, South Carolina 13, Florida 14, moving up from 16 last week, Mississippi State at 15, and Arkansas without a win, unfortunately, at 16.
That sounds about right. I mean, I would change up a couple of them. I still think Alabama's better than Ole Miss, but Alabama lost to what's it called? And who did Ole Miss lose to this year?
Georgia,
And Georgia lost to,
Alabama,
and Alabama lost to.
Florida State, and Oklahoma.
So I mean, it's just
And Florida State's lost to everybody, so
yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to be honest with you.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
A little bit of around the country. Oregon beats Minnesota 42-13. Clemson knocks out Louisville out of the ACC contention with a 20-19 win. Ohio State, we talked
Unbelievable.
about drubbing UCLA 48-10. That's not real competition. Indiana absolutely smokes Wisconsin 31-7. Texas Tech shows out in the saying that they're the best in the Big 12 by far, 37-15 or 48-9 over UCF. Notre Dame, Big Aggie support here absolutely stifles Pitt, who was on a run, but they come in and just at Pitt 37-15.
Best run I've seen all year by Jordan Love. That spin move was amazing. Loved it. Sick.
Yeah,
I
that
was sitting
dude.
there watching. I was like, "Hey, guys, y'all didn't see it at the time." I was like, "Whoa, watch this." And y'all thought
We
I
had
was kidding. That
we
guy.
had 9 games going at one time. It was impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks to Sam Fulton, by the way, for the host. Hey, BYU keeping their playoff race alive. They beat TCU 44-13. They look like the second best team in the Big 12. Utah absolutely crushes Baylor, 55-28. You've been on Utah. Yeah, what are you doing back there? What are you doing back
Sorry.
there?
Just trying to get the
You've been
kids
on
out.
Utah for
Get
a while
out of
now.
here. Huh?
You've been on Utah for a little bit. You like them.
I like Utah a lot.
Miami stays alive, beating NC State 41-7. Georgia Tech keeps the ACC hopes alive 36-34 with win over Boston College. They're pretty bad. That game, they shouldn't have been that close. USC keeping the playoffs hopes alive 26-21 with a win over Iowa. Michigan 24-22 over Northwestern, also keeping their potential playoff hopes alive. Virginia still alive in the playoffs, 34-17 win over Duke. And
These
South
teams,
Florida
some of these
says
teams make the. You keep saying these teams in the playoffs. If Virginia makes the playoffs are a joke.
Is going to be in the ACC championship game, which absolutely means that they can be in the playoffs. I mean,
Michigan,
I'm just saying.
Michigan, they make the playoffs. That's just the. I mean, I guess you got to get 12 teams in, but
I mean, if Michigan gets to 10 wins, which at this point they'd have to win out, which means they beat Ohio State, right?
I guess
So
that wouldn't surprise me either. That wouldn't surprise me. Auburn over Alabama wouldn't surprise me. Mississippi State over Ole Miss, I think that could happen too.
hey, nobody wants to be the non-power four conference winner, the fifth conference winner, because South Florida, as soon as they take the lead in that race, they lose to Navy 38-41. They're gone. They're out.
Memphis, Memphis
Memphis a
lost.
couple of weeks ago, yeah. So who knows who's
Well,
going to do
Memphis,
that
who
one?
just lost to East Carolina? Who just lost to East Carolina?
Was it
That, was that Memphis? Somebody just lost to East Carolina
Memphis?
this week.
I think it might have been Memphis. Did Memphis lose
North
again?
Texas, North Texas has a shot at making the
They sure do. They sure do. Matter of fact,
unbelievable.
a pretty good shot at that. At that. Uh, Games this week, Corey. Week 13, Rutgers at Ohio State minus 31.5. Does Rutgers cover?
Doubt it. Probably
Missouri.
won't bet it, but I doubt it.
This may be the game of the week here. Missouri at Oklahoma
It is.
minus 7.5.
Oh, I'm taking Oklahoma.
Same here, buddy. How about does Virginia Tech? They have a new coach now. Do they show up against Miami at home? 17.5 point spread.
He's not starting this week, so no, I doubt it.
Here's another big one. USC at Oregon minus 9.5. Oregon's minus 9.5. That's a lot of points.
What's the over under? Is there one?
59.5.
Son, give me Oregon in the over.
I'll take the under.
I bet you will.
Syracuse at Notre Dame minus 35.5.
Give me the first half line for Notre Dame because
Yeah, no
I think
kidding.
they'll give up. I don't know. They might run the ball down their throat the second half and just keep
Hey,
scoring.
they're trying to make a statement to get into the playoffs. You never know.
They're already in the playoffs.
They have to win out.
They don't have to kill them.
They got Pitt the last week. Arkansas at Texas. Texas is minus 8.5. Does Arkansas get its first SEC win in Austin?
No,
Austin, hey, look, they're coming off a game against Georgia where they lost. They got their butts kicked, man. Their playoff hopes have gone up in flames. Maybe they lose.
nah. Arkansas beat them.
Kentucky at
Yeah.
Vandy minus 9.5, by the way. How about that line?
I just said I liked Kentucky.
Amen. Let's take them. Pitt at Georgia Tech minus 2.5.
Who? Georgia Tech?
Yes.
Man, Georgia Tech scares me, dude. I don't. I mean, they scare me in the way I think they can lose to anybody.
By the skin on the chin, 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 they keep winning, man.
But give me Pitt.
Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee's minus 4.5 to keep. Nah, they don't have anything to play for.
That's it.
Yeah,
What's the over under in that game?
57.5.
Son, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, that might be a high scoring game.
Yes. About BYU at Cincy. Cincy's been eliminated at this point, but BYU's trying to stay alive. BYU's minus 2.5. You love Cincy.
I love Cincy win first half.
All right. I'm taking BYU.
Yeah,
Question from the tailgate. Frida Homes, building Aggie Dreams, custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in the Brazos Valley. If you're looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Just call Justin at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves the Frida Home. Question number one. Marcel is now number 3 in the Heisman odds. Number 3 behind Mendoza and Sain. Can he win, Corey? And just for your information,
when do they quit putting Heisman votes in? Does the playoffs count?
no.
What about championship games?
The championship game may count. I'll have to look at that date. And something
Because
for you to
Stan and Mendoza will play each other.
look. I think it may
That's
just be
what.
regular season. Uh, but Mendoza only has one game left, and that's against Purdue. So he's not creating any Heisman moments there.
No,
And
Stan has
Sayin
Michigan.
Sayin does play Michigan, so no championship games and bowl games not counted for the Heisman. Uh, the voting concludes as soon as the regular season's over.
That sucks. That sucks for
So,
Marcel.
all right. So once again, the question comes back: does he have a chance to win?
Yeah,
What does he have to do?
play a full complete game against Texas. Play the second half of South Carolina for 4 quarters. I'm talking like 600 yards of passing, 200 yards rushing,
I don't.
7 touchdowns.
I think he needs to play a full game against Texas and go dominate Texas, but I don't think his numbers need to be that gaudy. I think he can be
Oh,
if
he's
he
got to be
throws
gaudy.
for if he throws for 350, 3 touchdowns, and maybe runs for another one. I think he's right there. And part of that is because look, Mendoza doesn't I mean, he plays Purdue, right? Like he now knowing that coach, he'll let him throw for 500 yards against Purdue just because he's trying to win him a Heisman, right? Knowing Signetti. And
I
you
would.
know, Sayin, by the way, shouldn't even be in this conversation because only reason he's here is because he's throwing to the 2 best receivers in the country, damn near, you know? So
He's got KC and Rio.
he does. Speaking of which, question number 2. I do think he can win it. I think he can win it with a big time showing against Texas. I think he will win
Okay.
it.
All right.
Uh, look, at right now, question 2. Reed has 2,632 yards. KC has 787 and Mario has 781 receiving. Can Reed make it to 3,000 or will Reed make it to 3,000 and will Mario or KC make it to 1,000 in the regular season, 12-game regular season?
Rio and KC is a no. Marcel is a yes. Marcel's got too many players to throw to now. I mean, he's got Bethel starting to pop up. Bussy still hadn't blown up yet. The tight ends are getting their hands on the ball, and the running backs. I mean, Morrow's leaking out of the backfield. This guy Isaiah Williams caught 50 yards last week. Owens is still a threat out of the backfield.
Tight ends.
I don't know what happened to Daniels. Is he in the doghouse?
Certainly seems that way.
Wow.
Um, I agree with you. I think Reed does get to 3,000 in the regular season. I think KC and Mario get close, but they don't get to 1,000. But I think they both go over 1,000 for the entire season once we're through the games, the championship game, the playoff games, so on and so forth. I think both of those guys go over 1,000 in the season. Which, when's the last time you could have said that about a Texas A&M group of wide receivers?
True that, dog. True that.
And Mario, by the way, would have been probably a lock had he not gotten hurt the last couple of games. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, brother, first, I just want to say incredible, in spite of the fact that other than the Aggie game, there wasn't a lot of great games on.
Yeah.
Great Saturday of college football, man. Had an absolute blast out there. Fried some fish, you know, had
Yeah.
9 games going at one time. Just incredible, incredible deal.
Good times.
Loved it.
Hey, real
And
quick before you go, who you got tonight? Aggies versus Montana Grizzlies. Aggies favored by 17.
I got the Aggies. I got the Aggies. Aggie, listen, and we've been talking about it. We've been talking about Aggie basketball on our own time. We haven't brought it onto the show much yet. I'll tell you this, you keep telling me you don't think this team is very good.
They're not very good.
And so far they haven't played great. They've lost to the two teams, the actual two actual teams that they played against.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this. This team is already 5 times more exciting than anything Buzz Williams ever put out there on the court. And
They were
two,
exciting losses.
exactly. And two, they're going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to get better because they're going to get better defensively as they get used to this press and making sure that they're not giving up the easy basket. That press is just going to get better and better. By the end of
Well,
the season, this team's going to be playing excellent. And the second point is their best player still hasn't played a second, not 1 second. Their best player.
you're hoping he's their best player. You're hoping. You're not sure. You're hoping.
Yes, it's true.
And their defense can't do anything but get better because they suck right now. They don't have anywhere to go but up.
Uh,
So yeah, that's anyway, take the over tonight.
so what you're saying is you agree with me. Thank you.
I don't know about that. Take the over in tonight's game.
How much is the over?
It's probably more than what you're willing to do. 163 and a half.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Montana just played UNLV, beat UNLV at UNLV 102 to 93. They just played Cal Poly, beat Cal Poly 90 to 82. Lost to Stanford, gave up 91 points to Stanford.
All right, take the over.
Just saying.
That's going to be run and
What
done.
do the Aggies like to do?
Run
It
and
sounds
done.
like two teams that have the same. The Aggies might win this game by 17. I think
Love
the
it.
over is the way to go.
Over. Giga
All right,
Mag,
buddy.
AP, C Money from the tailgate.